We'll start, though, with the defending champions in the Champions League. Liverpool 1, Napoli 1 is how it finished at Anfield. What it means is that Liverpool, theoretically, could still not qualify for the knockout stages. It will go down to that final game away against Salzburg. If Salzburg win by a 2-goal margin, then Liverpool will be in the Europa League. Of course, that given that Napoli will beat Genk on the final day. Before we talk about the permutations, let's talk about the game, shall we, Stevie? Napoli, of course, with the lead for much of it. Big deal that, once again, Liverpool can't beat Napoli?
If you saw this game, seriously, if it had been a boxing match, they would have stopped it. I mean, there was only one team going forward. I mean, you talk about just playing on the break. You know, I'm listening to people saying that, you know, Ancelotti got his tactic spot on. Well, if his tactic was to get everybody behind the ball 30 yards for goal, then he got his tactic spot on. Liverpool just couldn't break them down. In fact, the two goals, the goal that Napoli got, should have been a foul on the halfway line. On Van Dijk, no question. It also was, in my opinion, offside. And Liverpool's goal shouldn't have stood either.
It wasn't offside.
It shouldn't. Listen, what I saw on the TV, they showed the line that he was, but regardless. And the goal that Liverpool got was a foul by Lovren. Right. So, listen, they got both goals wrong, but it kind of evened itself up. But as a spectacle, this was about as one-sided as you've ever seen.
I know. I'm not taking the mickey. But he did shout at me when I was watching another game. He shouted, I've just seen a line, it was offside. Correct.
So they saw the line, it was offside, they thought, we'll just give the goal anyway.
Well, to be fair, if you're that stupid and don't know a free kick in the halfway line, then you know what, it really doesn't matter after that.
Let's out who was talking about stopping fullbacks. It was Stuart Robson on the World Feed. He's not here to defend himself, but he'll be back on shortly, he can defend himself. He was talking about how, at the end of it, when they were wrapping up, how they stopped the Liverpool fullbacks. Well, Trent Alexander-Arnold was on the bench, so that negated a lot of that. Apart from the goal, which you can debate all day, I mean, there's no consistency because last night and yesterday in the Real Madrid game, the PSG goal was chopped off from the halfway line. Clearly, Mertens backed in to Van Dijk. There's no consistency here with the officials. But let's be frank, Alisson, apart from that, could have had his pyjamas on. It was one-way traffic. I mean, I was fed up looking to that way in the second half and that way in the first half. So it was like and in all fairness, if they wanted to come and defend and that was the plan, then that's what they did. But it was like watching a real lower league team going to a bigger team, and it was just so it wasn't a great spectacle, but it was a decent point for Napoli.
But here's the thing, from Napoli's perspective. Okay, I understand that this is not the way they want to play. Ideally, Napoli is a team that we think of as open and attacking. But if you go and do that against Liverpool at Anfield, well, more than likely you're going to get destroyed because they're better at doing that than you are. And so I don't know how many choices we had as a team for Ancelotti to sort out and figure out defensively what he wanted to do because, let's be honest, you can't just match Liverpool men for men and say, you know what, we're going to run with you back and forth. You do that, you might as well give away the 3 points because it's not going to happen for you if you're Napoli. So they gave themselves an opportunity, and if it's not for a goal coming from a very unlikely place in Dejan Lovren, they get out of here with a 1-0 and they're through to the next round. So I understand it's frustrating to see Napoli playing like this, but I also understand that this is the only way that they were going to win the game.
Liverpool the best team in the Champions League?
I'd say yes.
At the moment. If somebody said to you, right, if you were around all the coaches that are still in the Champions League and you said to them, the question was, where's the last place you want to go right now? They'd probably all say Anfield against Liverpool. So the answer would be yes.
However, the best team in the Champions League is not into the next round just yet. Mm-hmm. So there are some inconsistencies with this team that have been very clear and apparent in Champions League. And we can all say, well, they get their result, well, they'll be fine. Well, there'll be moments in which they haven't been fine, especially that away leg at Napoli, where they didn't look so great. And so, for me, Liverpool, yes, they are among the very best, but there is room for improvement for this team. I know it's crazy to say, given the success that they've had this year in Champions League, but I still think that this is a team that can be better than what they have been in the competition.
It is, but that's tough to play against tonight.
Right.
Honestly, you can talk. I mean, and for people that say, "Well, this was tactics and that," and I'm not harping back to Robbo. Just in general.
Just so happens
No, but I mean, as a generalisation, you will have space cadets out there saying, well, this was a bit of a masterclass. It's tough to play against that. And it's not tactics when you have, I mean, I could count at times 6 across the back line. Right. The rest in front. At times there was nobody even up front. And for any team, it's not last year with Barcelona, I think. I can't remember if it was Lyon. They played away in France and they had an incredible amount of possession, but could hardly break this team down. I think it was Lyon. I might be wrong. Because it doesn't matter who you've got at times. That it is so difficult to play through when there's no gaps, even when you've got the kind of players Liverpool, Barcelona, Etal have. And so therefore, I think it's hard to gauge when a team comes and sits in like that, because it then doesn't become much of a spectacle. It becomes a process and just trying to break that team down.
Liverpool qualify? Any problems?
Yeah, listen, I wouldn't say it without any problems. There have been question marks against them away from home. Not just this year, but last year. You know, they scraped through the group last year as well. Yeah. But seriously, you putting a penny on Liverpool losing 2-0, I'm not against Salzburg.
Salzburg have to go for it, don't they? They're almost in...
And that's kind of what Ali's saying. You know, if you're going to go for it against Liverpool, then you better score a lot of goals, because you're going to lose a lot.
It's not the easiest game to go away in, because they're not a bad side. Yeah. You've got the big lads, Haaland up front, it's a big threat. They scored goals, and I think the goals they scored at, in all fairness, the goals they scored at Anfield was Liverpool taking their foot off the gas. So that the only way Liverpool don't get the result for me is if they have a complacent night. If they have a good night, they win the game, they go through.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.